Hey, so in this video, I'm going to teach you how I was able to manifest a long-term relationship with my twin flame even after us not talking for 8 years, okay? Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Yana Speaks. I am a manifestation psychic, and I help women to remove blockages in their love life that is caused by hexes, generational curses, and spells, okay? So I'm just going to get right into it because I don't want to waste your time. So I met my twin flame when I was roughly about 20 years old, and my twin flame was 28. And I actually happened to meet my twin flame on his birthday. And I remember, although I didn't know him that well, I was like, well, it's his birthday. I wanted to do something nice for him. So I did buy him a birthday cake. And I remember him expressing to me that it made him feel very special, and it was a sweet gesture, me buying him a birthday cake, because at that point, no other woman had really done that for him besides his mom. So it was something that he did definitely appreciate, but it didn't really get me to manifest a relationship with him, right? It really bothered him a lot that I was 20 and that he was 28. And, you know, at the time he was a father of 2 children. And I guess how he looked at it is just like, she's 20, she's closer to 18. I'm 28, I'm closer to 30. It just doesn't make sense. So our relationship really didn't go anywhere, right? And I think another reason why our relationship didn't go anywhere, now that I'm looking back on it from a different perspective years later, I think it didn't really go anywhere simply because I didn't have really good beliefs about myself. I think what I was doing was I was trying to convince him that I was worthy of a commitment, that I was not operating from a higher self. And I had a lot of just issues, right? So time went on, he went and got into a serious relationship. I went and got into a serious relationship. And, you know, I got to a point in my life years later where I was very depressed. And I had went through a spiritual awakening. And when you are in a true twin flame connection, or when you actually meet your twin flame, you are going to usually experience a spiritual awakening. That's usually what happens when you're in a true twin flame connection. And that spiritual awakening really gets you to see what it is that you need to work on when it comes to yourself. And that spiritual awakening is almost like the stepping stone to completely changing your life. And from that time of me experiencing that spiritual awakening, when I got to my lowest point where I was extremely suicidal, I was very depressed. At that point, what I ended up doing was I really started to work on myself, and I started to invest in coaching and really changing my limiting beliefs. And it's almost like I did a big quantum leap in my life. I literally went from making no money to literally having a successful spiritual business within months, just by changing my limiting beliefs. That's why people really do not understand. When you ask the most successful millionaires, what is one thing that you could say that you did that helps you to really go to the next level, and they will tell you it's working on their mindset. So it's when I start to work on my mindset and I start to work on my limiting beliefs, is everything I ever wanted started to come true. And it came to me without really much resistance. I didn't experience a lot of resistance at all. The first area I saw change was I just felt better, right? The second place I saw change was that I went from literally being broke, having no money, literally making only $300 a week, to literally manifesting a very successful spiritual business, right? Then I literally went from having no license, no car, being afraid to drive, using the fact that I'm from New York as an excuse why I don't need a license, to literally getting my driver's license, when years before, when I would always try to attempt to get it, I just was not getting driving. Driving was just not clicking. Now, I know we're talking about love, but I'm just trying to get you to understand that spiritual awakenings really lead to so much powerful things. And a twin flame connection is so powerful because not only does it change your life as far as love, but it changes all areas of your life. You know, if you ever really get to fully absorb that twin flame connection, it will just completely change everything in your life, right? It's almost like the gift that keeps giving, right? So I went from like having no license to getting my license and then getting a car. I went from living with family to manifesting my own apartment, and not just a regular apartment, but like a high-rise apartment that I always wanted, right? I literally went from just not like being in a successful relationship, not happy, really depressed, to literally manifesting my twin flame back into my life. And we had not spoken for 8 years. And it was crazy because everything just started to align, just like without me even really trying. And that's the crazy thing about the twin flame connection, is that when you're trying to get your twin flame to be in a relationship with you, and you're trying to get your twin flame to fall in love with you, and you're trying to convince your twin flame that you're the right person for them, you are putting up resistance. It's when you let go and you really allow yourself to go through that spiritual awakening, where you really realize like you have a lot of work to do on yourself, and you start really working on yourself, that twin flame connection that you have with this other person, y'all can actually become in alignment with one another, right? Because you have worked on yourself. So if you ever want to know how can I manifest a long-term relationship with my twin flame, the very first thing I will tell you to do is do not resist that spiritual transformation. Do not resist that spiritual awakening, because if you are in a true twin flame connection, you are going to experience a spiritual awakening. It's just going to happen, okay? And if you resist it, which meaning like needing to work on yourself, needing to change your limiting beliefs, needing to work on your self-concept, needing to change the other areas of your life that you're not happy with, if you resist that and you just don't want to change, and you're like, no, I'm not going to change this because it's too hard, or I'll change some things, but I'm not going to change all of it, you're going to make it to where you and your twin flame don't ever reach your union, basically, right? Because that is definitely what's needed. And that was the thing that I literally did. Like, I wasn't even trying to manifest my twin flame back into my life, because we had not been speaking for 8 years. So I wasn't even thinking about him, and he wasn't even thinking about me. But just by me going through that spiritual awakening and working on my limiting beliefs and my mindset, I was able to literally manifest him and other things in my life that I wasn't even trying to manifest. I remember, like, this is how powerful it is. Like, I want you to really understand. I remember saying, like, okay, I want to live in an apartment, right? I want to get my own place, right? Okay. So for like a year, I had just been looking at apartments, right? Out of nowhere, I started watching like girls that manifest their own apartments, like their dream apartments. And there was this one girl who was like, how I manifested my high-rise apartment. At this time, I had never thought about living in a high-rise. It was never on my radar. I didn't even care about it. I just wanted an apartment. When I saw her high-rise, I said, I want to live in a high-rise. Tell me why literally 2 weeks later, as I'm searching for apartments, right, high-rises was just coming up out of nowhere, right? And I remember I called one of them and I said, hey, I'm interested in, renting an apartment with you guys. And they said, well, we are full, but we are building another building, and it will be open at this and that date. So if you're interested, I'll take that information. They called me back a month later. That's how amazing it is, and how quickly you manifest what you want when you completely surrender to your spiritual awakening. You completely are open to a spiritual transformation. It's like, not only will you manifest the relationship and the connection you want with your twin flame, but you will start to see that you manifest other things in your life, and it just comes to you. It's like it just comes to you. I don't want to say come to you easily, but it just comes to you with no resistance. It's just like you start saying, hey, I want this particular thing, and then it just shows up, right? So at that point, when I was just manifesting all these things, I wasn't saying, okay, I want to manifest my twin flame from 8 years ago. I just was saying, hey, universe, I just want to manifest real love. And then we just reconnected with each other, and it just literally happened like that. Okay, so if you would like to learn more about this, if anything I said was confusing, because I know I talked about a couple of things, but I just wanted you guys to understand like how powerful manifestation is. If you'd like to learn more about this, I do have a free challenge that is going on, and it is a 5-day free challenge where I'm going to teach you how to manifest your dream love life by removing hexes, spells, and generational curses that are affecting your love life. If you are interested in that, just send me a message and I'll talk to you soon.